If you're wondering what's on my head, just don't ask me because I'm not gonna tell you. It's not something that I would like to explain or acknowledge. Let's just skip it. Hi Booktube, it's Wordsborn, and today I'm coming to you with a book review of the 800k novel Cape May by Chipala Chikiti Chikchuk, which is the book that everybody's talking about on Twitter these days because of the debate of publishing paid me that all the authors are talking about. So this random author named Chip Cheek, he comes up and says that he almost got $1 million for his debut book and everybody wanted to read his book. So some of us decided to actually do it, and with some of us, your girl is one of them. Before going into this video, let me tell you that this review is going to contain so many spoilers, so in case you want to read this bullshit, then I would suggest you to skip this video. But in case you don't care and you're just here for the tea and why this book got $800,000 as a debut advance, then welcome. But one more thing, you're not gonna get your answer because I don't really know why it was paid that much. This book is a historical erotica bullshit, and there are no answers. Like, in case you're here for the answers, there are none. Maybe go ask the publishers, send them an email, maybe they reply. Without any further ado, let's just dive right into this review because there are so many things, a shit ton of things that I want to talk about right now, okay? And I can't wait. This book is set in late September of 1957. There is this newlywed couple, Henry and Effie, who are in Cape May, New Jersey to spend their honeymoon, but this place is so bad that they just decide to cut it down. Low-key, I'm convinced that they were in Cape May because they already had a place of their relative here where they could stay for free, maybe, but I'm 100% convinced that that was the only reason they were here. The town is so empty. There is just this beach and literally there is no other thing that can entertain you. So their honeymoon is going pretty boring and they're just banging. Like, the book starts and we see that Henry cracks a joke and Effie laughs, and all of a sudden she starts crying because maybe she's so done with the boredom here, and then they bang and the sex literally ends in like 1 second. It's so crazy that we are reading their first sex and it just ends in like one paragraph and you're like, and literally at the end of the paragraph you read the author write that it was done in seconds, and after that Henry is like, I think we are done, and like, girl, your wife isn't happy, she's not satisfied, do something else. But we just move. In the first chapter, we just see that these people are super horny, but the atmosphere is so bland that they're just so bored even of sex. That's all. Effie is 18 years old and Henry is 20, so we are constantly told how old they are, and we are told that they're adults because they're acting like 13 years old horny teenagers. So until they bump into Clara, who happens to be a childhood friend of Effie, until Clara comes in and plays her part. So Clara is Effie's childhood friend and she just invites them to their house. Once they're inside, she tells them they're having a party for Max, who happens to be Clara's lover, even though Clara is married to Richard, which was wild. And Max happens to have a sister, Alma, who just comes with him, and the party starts. So in the party, there are suddenly a lot of people who come out of nowhere. Like, Cape May was so empty that you couldn't see people for days, and all of a sudden there is a house full of party, which definitely didn't make any sense to me. So in one day they meet Clara, they go to her house and they're having party, so all of a sudden their honeymoon is wild. By the end of the party, they're super happy and they're like, maybe we should stay in Cape May for some time, we are having fun. And once again the Henry horny part plays. And honestly, I don't even understand how this much erection is possible for somebody who has such a small dick. Like, it's not even a micro penis here we're talking about. We are talking about nano penis because that's what Henry has. So on the big picture, we have 5 characters now. We have Effie and Henry, who are married. We have Clara, who is Effie's childhood friend. And we have Max, who is Clara's lover. And we have Alma, who happens to be Max's half-sister. They start partying, they're having fun, they start developing relationships, and all of a sudden Effie is sick. Now Henry is like, I'm horny and this bitch is sick, what do I do? So he decides that he's gonna party because that's the only reason. So now Effie is in her bed, she's sick, she's dying, and people are like, she's gonna die, she's so sick. And Henry's like, I don't care, I'm gonna go party. But every now and then he'd be like, Jesus would understand because guess what? They are Christian. This novel is erotica slash religious erotica slash historical erotica. And you're telling me this book didn't deserve $800,000? Girl, I don't trust you. It did deserve that. Now Henry is horny to the point that every pair of boobs that he sees, it's glowing. And honestly, that doesn't make any sense. But here we are. So now Effie's out of her bed and everybody's like she's still sick, but they want her with them when they're partying, so she's with them. But they are developing a kind of very mixed relationship which can only be described as sexual, and I do believe that all these five characters did need that $800,000 mental help because, yeah, they did. And who knows, maybe that's why the publisher gave the author that much money because they thought that this man does need help. So now is when the tea starts. Henry starts to feel attracted towards Alma, who is Max's half-sister. Bitch, what the fuck? They were married like 1 week ago, and now this man is in mood of cheating on his wife. And then there are lines like, why was Effie even surprised that he's cheating on her? Like, it's your first week of marriage. First fucking week. What? Anyways, now they are breaking into strangers' houses. Effie is still sick, and they get into this house where is this really big Victorian era house, and there are a lot of things in this house. They're rich people and everybody's fascinated, and all of a sudden Alma wants to steal something. She gets herself a wig, and later she says that she's gonna get herself a dress for the dance that is happening by the end of the week, something like that. So everybody's like, okay fine, you do yourself. At this point, Henry is so involved with Alma that a few days before this dance, he sees the light in the house glowing, and he knows that it's Alma. I don't know how he knows, but he does. Like, it could be the owners of the house, but he's like, no, it's gonna be Alma. And guess what? It was Alma. So he goes into that house, Alma is there, and they bang. They do. And I was like, girl, it's your second week of marriage. You're banging someone else now. Your wife is at your house. What? Like, I don't want to be disrespectful to the people who have micro penises, but girl, you have to keep it in your pants. Like, you're the clown here. Joke's on you. This man would literally be going in a grocery store seeing cucumbers, and he'd be like, that's turning me on. Like, he would be like, let me pull my trunks off, and how about you give me a BJ? How about that? Anyways, that's exactly what happens. They fucking bang. And then Alma's like, you should be with your wife, you shouldn't be with me. But Henry's like, no, I'm horny, because from now on, Henry is 24/7 horny and everybody's tits are glowing. By the time you're halfway through this book, you know that everybody's tits are glowing. You know that Henry's penis is of size of a large mushroom, which happens to be 2.5 inches, which is really small for a penis. And you know that Alma's vagina looks like a starfish. Along with that, we get to know that Henry can be turned on with everything from sliced canned peaches to strawberry jam. Anything can turn him on. It doesn't have to be a living thing. I don't know where Henry bought his audacity. Like, for someone who has such a small penis, this much audacity isn't real. Like, you can't have that much. No. I don't make the rules, okay? But no. It's a no-no for me. I honestly don't know how is it even possible, but if somebody has 2.5 inches dick and it isn't falling off with every erection that is happening every 2 pages, that doesn't make any sense. Like, why isn't it falling off? I wanted it. I thought this was going to be the plot. He was gonna get some kind of disease or something, but it never happened. By this time, we also get to see that Effie happens to be a cannibal, and she literally wants to chop Henry up and eat him. Girl, what? And then we see that Henry gets injured and Effie actually sucks his blood. Are we talking about vampires now? The book takes so strange points from here. Effie and Henry would go on walks in the middle of the night naked, and they would be banging in somebody else's lawn, and at the same time Alma would be banging Henry in a stranger's house, and the book is so wild at this point that you're like, I'm drawing my line here. I don't know what the fuck is happening. Henry gets so many erections that, like, the gayest of all would start hating penises. I'm just saying. Henry is so horny that to the point he don't even get surprised when he sees the least turning on things and he says that he's an erection. Like, he would literally see flies running around and he'll say, I'm hard. That's how it is. So now that all the partying has been done, everything has been done, Henry is so attached to Elma that in his second week of marriage, he's a grown adult and he wants to run away with a girl he just met last week. Somebody please make it make sense, because I'm losing brain cells over here. This literally makes no sense at all. For Henry, who happens to have an erection by peaches and strawberry jam, like, girl, that shit doesn't go there. No, but he was putting it there. You're telling me that Henry and Effie has known each other for years, since their childhood, and now this Elma comes a week ago and he wants to run away with her in his first week of marriage? Girl? What? But they do plan out their runaway. Don't ask me, okay? They do. So Elma is like, on this date we are running away, and on that day she's like, I'm going, and Henry's like, where are you going? And she's like, I'm going home. And he doesn't take the clue that she's asking him to come along with her, so he's just like, okay, fine, we had plans, but he doesn't say it. And he's like thinking, we had plans, we were running away, where is this bitch going? But Elma's like, okay, he's gonna figure it out, he'll come after me. But he doesn't. Alma just stays at the station all day waiting for Henry to come, and Henry's like, she's gone home, she left me, oh my god, the bitch cheated on me. Like, what? She wasn't loyal? At this point, I had lost the last bit of hope in Henry. I knew that this was a lost cause and this novel was not going to go anywhere. So by this time, Henry is heartbroken and he's like, Elma left me, Elma wasn't loyal, and I cheated on my wife. Jesus would understand, because Jesus understands everything. He understands the cheating I did on my wife on the second week of my marriage. No, girl, he doesn't. He's gonna beat your ass. So Henry is once again horny and he wants some ass and some vagina, but he can't get it. So you're getting it right. They do an orgy, a fucking orgy on their second week of marriage. They're doing an orgy with strangers. Could this book get any wild? No, it's gonna get wilder from here. So Clara, Max, Henry, and Effie do an orgy, and Henry sees how Effie is banging wild with Max, and he's pissed because apparently he hasn't been cheating on his wife for the past 2 weeks, so he's just pissed that she's doing it. Anyways, they have a fight, and all of a sudden Elma returns and she just blows everything up, and now Effie knows that Henry has been cheating on her, and she's like, you son of a bitch, you were mad at me that I was having an orgy right when you were banging somebody else in front of me. And he's like, I'm gonna hide my face from here. I don't know, girl, Jesus would understand. But anyways, they have a big ass fight, and now they're not talking. Effie has gone somewhere, God knows where, and Henry's alone in his house. So guess what? He sees the light in the stranger's house again, and he knows Elma is there. So he goes, follows the light, and breaks into the house. But it's not Elma, it's actually the owners of the house this time, and they hold a gun against his head because guess what? They found out that somebody was banging in their house. After a long ass scene, Henry ends up in jail. God knows where Effie is. Max and Elma have left the place, and it's just Clara he can reach out to. So he calls Clara from the police station, and she says, I don't have the money. God knows where all the money got away all of a sudden. Like, she was the richest person, and all of a sudden she has no money. Make it make sense, please. Clara actually ends up going to the owners of the house from there, and she begs them to let Henry go, and they actually let him go. So Clara is at the police station taking Henry back to her place, and they're like, you know what, we understand each other, we are the same, and we are shitty people, so let's just kiss in the middle of a police station. Yeah, that is where Henry and Clara kiss, in the middle of a fucking police station. The moment when he had an erection when he saw Clara, I was like, girl, no, please no. But like, it happened. So that is exactly where the second last chapter of the book ends. So now we know that Henry and Effie are not in mood, and Clara is just a shitty person. So Henry and Effie, they try to make up with each other, and Effie's like, I understand why you were cheating on me. You were a really nice person. Bitch, what the fuck? He was cheating on you on the second week of his marriage. What are you talking about here? When he said that he used his tongue to reach as far as he could, I was like, that makes sense because you don't even have a penis. So now it's chapter 16, and what we see is what happens in the rest of the life of Henry and Effie. So I'm gonna break it down to you, okay? And I'm gonna break it down to you fast. The first 15 chapters of the book happen in 3 weeks, whereas the last chapter happens in 73 years. I know it doesn't make sense. It didn't make sense to me at all. So Henry and Effie happen to have 3 children after that, and Effie dies later on, and she cheats on Henry, so they just make a balance. The end of the book. And once I finished this book, I was like, girl, what? This is one of the most horrible books that I've ever read. I gave it 1 star only because I think that's what she deserves. But like, I don't have anything against the author, but why $800,000 was given? $800,000 are a lot for this bullshit. Like, what? The characters of this book were horrible. Everybody was so horny at the time, and I don't know why is everybody was so obsessed with their bodies, especially Henry. He was like noticing everybody, and everybody was like, now and then we would get descriptions which were so weird, and it made me so uncomfortable. The sex was horrible, and this book was pile of mess. We can't even call it a pile because it's like 250 pages long, which isn't a long for a novel, especially a literary novel which literally can be 800 pages long. But this book seemed to go on for ages and ages, slow pacing and a horrible writing. I hated it, okay? But anyways, that's what we got. I am not recommending this book to anybody, but if you want it, read it on your own. Like, it's just a waste of time, and you don't have to buy it. Get it from the library or just pirate it. The author earned enough from it, I think, hands down. Anyways, I'm just gonna go, okay, from now. I cannot talk about it anymore. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. I'll see you guys next time, and until then, I'll just take my leave. So goodbye.